Guys, welcome back to my channel. I believe that we are all here because we want to learn something about car ownership and about car importation. And I will tell you a few things for free. And please thank me in the comment section if what I say will help you, because I believe that if you are a car enthusiast, if you are a person planning to own a car in Kenya, what I'm going to say here will definitely help you in one way or the other. A lot of you know that I imported the car I'm sitting in around 6 months ago. This is a Mazda CX-5. I gave you guys the whole journey from how I started. Even when the car was in the ship, I kept giving you the story about where it is. When I cleared it, I shot videos, and when I received it, I gave you the whole story. And then some people started trusting me to import cars for them. And I went back to my Japanese agent, because I have an agent in Japan who verifies all the vehicles we buy. Okay? He has to go there and see them in person before we purchase them. So I went back there and we had a conversation. I told him I have a lot of requests from people who want me to import cars for them. Okay? And he told me, you know, Joseph, I know you are a beginner. You just bought your first car and maybe 2 other cars for your clients, but I want us to have a conversation. So what I'm sharing with you in this video is what we discussed with my Japanese agent at the beginning of my car importation journey. Okay? So the first question he asked me was, all these cars that I am requesting to purchase, am I buying them so that I can come and sell? Okay, meaning that I am bringing them in my name, and when they arrive into Kenya, I start marketing them to get someone to buy. Or am I buying them on behalf of clients who have already committed their money? So those 2 questions made me think a bit, and I didn't give him a straight answer. I asked him, why are you asking me these questions? Because it could be either, if I find deal cars, I can buy them with my own money and try and come and sell in Kenya. Or if I have a client who commits their money, I can also buy on their behalf. So, and this is what he told me, just to move a bit faster. You know, he told me that if I am buying to come and sell, okay, that should be a different conversation altogether, because the type of cars that I should buy to come and sell are completely different from the cars that I buy for a client who has committed their money. And this is what we discussed. You know, in Kenya, affordability is very key. And when you listen to these discussions around how much money you pay for vehicles in Kenya's showrooms, a lot of you will understand that, you know, these prices are not very high. Okay? You'll find very affordable cars. And there are people who ask me prices of importation. And when I mention the price of importation to them, they actually say to me that you can get cars in showroom at the same price. I hope now you get to relate. For example, if you are looking for a Mazda CX-5, I tell you, you get it at 2.8. Another person will tell me, with 2.8, I don't then need to import. I can walk into any showroom and get a Mazda CX-5 at 2.8. But this is what I want you guys to understand, that when you are buying a car from Japan, you have an opportunity to choose the quality. And if I am buying a car to come and sell, my agent told me, and of course that is common sense for anyone doing brick and mortar business, someone buying things, keep stock, come and resell. He told me that for cars that you are buying to come and resell, you don't focus on condition, you don't focus on quality, you focus on affordability. You buy a car that is affordable, that I can come and put my markup of 200k or 300k and still compete with local dealers. That car, it will not matter whether it is an accident car, whether it is a repaired car, whether it is a flood car, whether it is grade 4.5, whether it is grade 5, as long as my agent spots a good car in Japan that is extremely affordable, and I can import it and come and put my markup and sell it at a price competitive with the local dealers, that is the car I should target if I am buying for myself, for myself to come and resell. On this other hand, and before I finish on that topic, and that is what he told me, that is what people buy, people who buy from Japan to come and resell in Kenya, whether they are dealers, whether they are individual people with small showrooms. If you are importing a car without a pre-order, you will never go for a car that is expensive. So of course, it is not always that cheap cars are problematic, or they are accident cars, or they are repaired. You can still get good cars at a cheap price, but they are not so often. So if you are trying to compare the importation price with what you get in showrooms, sometimes you miss the point because the quality might not be the same. On this other hand, what we discussed is that if I have a client who has committed, there is no need to import a low quality car for someone who has committed their money. Sometimes that's why I tell people, you will not always get the cheapest when you are importing, because if you look for the cheapest car while importing, you might end up with an accident car, you might end up with a high mileage car, a low grade car. And that's why I always insist, and if you see the videos that I have shot for the vehicles I have brought, I always insist on grade 4.5 and above, add mileage below 50,000 kilometers. And then my work and my agent is to verify the history of that car and make sure that it is clean. That is the only way you guarantee yourself a vehicle that will never give you problems. But if you go for these cheap cars while importing, you never know what you are betting on. So what I'm trying to tell you guys is that the day, for instance, I will open a yard in Kenya and you find 50 cars parked in my showroom for sale, I can guarantee you they will not be grade 4.5, they will not be grade 5, they will not be below 50,000 kilometers in terms of mileage. They will be combined. Whichever car I get that is affordable, I will buy. That is the truth. So that I come here, I put my small markup and I sell it without struggles. Because tell me, if I import a Mazda CX-5 at 2.8, 2.9, and then I put a markup of 300,000, 400,000, will I be able to sell that car locally? While the import price is almost the same as local prices for high mileage cars. And sometimes people will only go with price, will only go with how much does it cost, without focusing on other factors like grade, like condition, like mileage, and those kind of stuff. So let us be very, very open-minded. Let us be learned buyers. When you are negotiating for the price, know what are you giving away for that discount, because everything has a cost. If you buy cheap, you have paid for poor quality somewhere, and maybe it might come back biting you some years later. So that is the intelligence I wanted to share with you guys. I hope you have learned a few things. And always, I love importing Mazdas. So if you want to import a Mazda, especially CX-5, Axera, Mazda 2, Mazda 3, my agent loves sourcing these cars, either from the auction, from other dealers, or from his own stock. Mazdas are our bread and butter, but that does not mean that we cannot get you cleaner units from other brands, because we bring all of them. So cheers guys, see you in my next video. Comment if you like what I have shared, and also drop me a text on WhatsApp or give me a call if you are planning to import a car from Japan to Kenya today. Save yourself some good money and get an extremely clean machine. Cheers, see you in my next one.